This question is from November 24, 42. Two particles P and Q of masses 2m and m. The mass of P is 2m, the mass of Q is m. Are held at rest in the same vertical line. The heights of P and Q above the horizontal ground are 1 and 2. The height of this one is ground. The height of P is 1 and the height of Q is 2. 1 meter. So the distance between P and Q is 1 meter. The mass of P is 2m. And the mass of Q is m kg. P is projected vertically upwards with a speed of 2. Initial speed of P is 2 meter per second. And the acceleration is -10 because the particle is moving in the upward direction. At the same time, Q is released from rest. U is equal to 0 and A is equal to positive 10 meter per second square. Now we want to find out the speed of each particle immediately before the collision. Let the two particles meet each other at this point. Now this one is the distance covered by Q, and this one is the distance covered by P. Now these two distances should be, the sum of these two distances should be equal to 1. Now we will find out SQ and SP. And the time for both the particles to reach at this point is same, and let that time be T. So SQ is equal to UT plus half AT square. SQ is equal to 0T plus half into 10 into T square is equal to 5T square. Now SP is equal to (2T) plus half into -10 into T square is equal to 2T minus 5T square. Now the sum of these two distances, SQ plus SP, should be equal to 1. The distance between P and Q is 1. So 5T square plus 2T minus 5T square is equal to 1. T is equal to 1 by 2 is the time when the two particles will collide with each other. Now we want to find out the speed of the two particles at the time before the time of collision. We will use, for Q, we will use V is equal to U plus AT. We want to find out the final velocity. Here U is equal to 0. Acceleration is 10. And time is 1 by 2 is 5. Velocity of Q is 5 and is moving in the downward direction. Now we want to find out the speeds of the particles. Speed is 5. Now for Q, V is equal to U is 2. Acceleration is -10 into half is equal to -3. -3 indicates that the particle is also moving. This particle is also moving downwards. Now, these are the speeds of the particles. Now, the speed is 3. Speed of Q is 3. Because we need speed, not the velocity. Speed of P, sorry, this one is P. P is 3. Now, we will move to the next question, next part of this question. It is given that immediately before the collision, the downward speed of the particle Q is 3.5. We will let the downward speed as positive. Positive. Find the speed of P at the instant when it reaches the ground. Now, first of all, we will have to find out the speed of P when it will hit the after the collision. Speed of P after the collision. Now we will use the law of conservation of momentum. The mass of Q is m. And the speed of Q is 5 and is downwards. Mass of P is 2m and the speed of P is also downwards and is 3. We have just calculated the speed in part number 1, in the A part, is equal to. Now the speed of Q after the collision is 3.5 and is also moving downwards. So m into 3.5 and the speed of Q P is unknown. This one is 11m minus 3.5m is equal to 2 mv. 7.5 is equal to 2v, v is equal to 3.75. This one is the speed of P after the collision and it is moving with 3.75. Now we want to find out the height of the particle P when the collision happens. Now we know that the distance covered by P is 2t minus 5t square. And at the time of collision, the time is 1/2. And the answer of SP is minus 0.25 meters. Negative sign indicates that the particle is below the point of projection and is 0.25 meter below the point of projection. The point of projection is this. This one is the point of projection. Now the particle is 0.25 meter below the point of projection. That is This one is 0.25. Now the height of the particle above the ground is this one, which is equal to 0.75 meters. Now the particle speed after the collision is 3.75, and the distance of the particle from the ground is 0.75. Now the initial speed is 3.75. The distance is 0.75 meters. The acceleration is positive 10. We want to find out the speed of the particle with which it hits the ground is equal to question mark. Now 2as is equal to v square minus u square. 2 into a is positive 10. The distance covered is 0.75 is equal to final velocity is the requirement minus 3.75 square. 15 minus 3.75 square is equal to v square, and v is equal to 15 minus 3.75 square, and the final answer is equal to, this one is plus. Final answer is 5.39 meter per second. This one is the speed with which the particle P will hit the ground. There are two important points in this one. One is this: when the distance is minus 0.25, then this one is the distance of the particle below the point of projection because of the negative sign. And when the speed is negative, it means the two particles collide with each other when the both particles are moving in the downward direction. Okay, Allah Hafiz.